The Bible tells us that men are lovers of self. When we are lovers of self, a series of character defects begin to arise. Lovers of money, proud, arrogant, abusive, disobedient to parents, ungrateful, unholy, heartless, unappeasable, slanderous, without self-control, brutal, not loving good, treacherous, reckless. I mean, the list goes on and on when we love self more than we love God. That's what 2 Timothy tells us, 2 Timothy 3. Now, let me ask you a question. Are you a lover of self? Here's another way of thinking about it. Do you have a selfish heart? Well, if you do, welcome to the club. But God, He has a remedy for the selfish heart. And you know what that remedy is? A heart that gives. The remedy for the selfish heart is a heart that becomes a giver, which is why Jesus says it is better to give than it is to receive. Now, when Renee is my husband, we started I Believe Ministries. God called us to serve at the homeless shelter. Now, between you and I didn't want to go to the homeless shelter. I felt I had better and more important things to do with my Saturday evening, but, well, God had other plans. And so, against my selfish will, we went and weekly filled the homeless shelter with songs of worship, with Bible stories, with prayers, and their favorite, donuts. Now, during the holidays, we asked our new friends what they wanted for Christmas. And well, much to our surprise, they asked for socks. And now I stood in disbelief and my loud mouth said, well, hold on. What do you mean you want socks? I questioned. And a man who stood afar off, he says, well, Amanda, when our feet are clean and warm, we just feel a whole lot better. So please bring us socks. Well, I'm going to ask you the question that I asked myself. When was the last time you ever thanked God for socks? You see, I was soon learning that when we give of our resources, our talents, and our time, that God has a funny way of changing our hearts. God begins to change the character of the one who gives. Now, my selfish heart had failed to realize just how much I had to be grateful for. But God wasn't done with me yet. Christmas Day arrives and we have our socks and hands, and we also threw some more goodies in there because, again, we still just couldn't believe it. And here we were back into the homeless shelter. Smiling faces received socks with more gratitude than I received the latest iPhone. And I realized, it dawned on me that it's true when they say that it's not happy people that are grateful, but it is grateful people that are happy. As we handed the final gift, we headed toward the parking lot. But then a woman ran after us and said, hey, please, I didn't receive my gift and I really need socks. So me and the team, my husband, we were frantically looking through our bags only to deliver the unfortunate news. No more gifts. Before I could say another word, an eavesdropper said, well, here, you can have mine. And this eavesdropper handed her only pair of socks as we all looked down to her bare foot. This time I didn't ask any questions as tears began to fill my eyes. You see, I learned that when you are a giver, there will always be gifts to give and selfish hearts like mine to bless. If, like me, your heart is selfish, today ask yourself, how can I be a giver? How can I be a blessing? Be a giver of your time. Who can you call on the phone right now to encourage? Be a giver of your talent. Who can benefit from your singing? Who can benefit from your poem? Who can benefit from your drawing? Be a giver of your resources. Purchase a gift card from your favorite restaurant and bless a needy family. When you give, your most dire needs will be met. You know what that is? The giver of givers, God Himself, will give you a new heart. And so remember, it is better to give than it is to receive.